Hi guys, welcome to the Saucy Chef's channel today. What I'm going to show you how to make is sweet and sour prawns with egg fried rice. You can actually use chicken for this dish, or you can make it completely vegetarian and just use all sorts of vegetables. So first of all, I'm going to show you the ingredients we're going to need. I've got here about 14 raw king prawns that have been shelled. We've got half a red pepper, half a yellow pepper that has been chopped, a small amount of chopped mushrooms. Then we need about 3 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, white wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup, half an onion that has been peeled and chopped, 2 large cloves of garlic, a teaspoon of 5 spice powder, and some coriander. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we've got some oil in these 2 pans here. This one I'm going to use for the prawns and the vegetables, the other is going to be for the fried rice. I've actually got enough rice here that's been pre-cooked and boiled for 2 people. Okay, and to do the egg fried rice, I've beaten an egg in here that has been seasoned. It's a large egg. If you've got small eggs, use 2 small ones. Okay, so first of all, what goes in the pan is the onion, and the peppers. You can use green pepper if you want instead of the yellow. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, the important thing about this dish is all the flavourings. It's a really, really authentic Chinese taste, this one. Okay, so we get the peppers and the onions in the pan to start with, in the oil, and they start sizzling away. And we start to let them cook through a little bit before we start to add the ingredients to them. Obviously, if you're using prawns for this dish, they get added later because they take literally a couple of minutes to cook through. If you're going to be using chicken, soften the onions and the peppers and then add the chicken straight away. If you're using other vegetables like broccoli or whatever, add them straight away as well. So it's quite a versatile dish, this one. Super, super tasty. Okay, so these are starting to cook nicely in the pan here now. Beautiful colours. If any of you do have any questions, by the way, when you're following all my recipes, just pop a question on YouTube and I'll come straight back and answer you, as soon as I've seen it anyway. Okay, so these are starting to soften nicely now. And this is when we can start to add the mushrooms. Again, all these various ingredients are optional. Peppers are a really good thing to put in this, but if you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to use these in the dish. You can use other vegetables, etc. So these are starting to cook down now. Only takes a couple of minutes. Okay, so we'll now start to add some of the seasonings. The Chinese 5 spice powder has such a beautiful aroma. Smelling delish already. And then we have the cloves of garlic. Very, very simple to make. Okay, so we'll now start to add all the other ingredients. So here I've got a spoon. Here I've got the tomato ketchup, the white wine vinegar, Just give that a little stir now. Okay, and then I'll add the soy sauce. Some sweet and sour recipes I know have the chicken or whatever battered, or the prawns when they go in. This recipe isn't that. It's just straight in with the meat or the prawns. I prefer it without, personally. Okay. We also need a couple of tablespoons of sugar, so to compensate the sweet and the sour. So this is all cooking away beautifully now. So at this stage I'm going to switch the pan on for the egg fried rice. So we put it on a high heat and start to heat the oil up in the pan. Now I'm just going to give this a little taste just to see whether it needs any seasoning or not. That's yummy. So we let that cook down a little bit, and in the meantime we've got this pan heating up here. I won't put the egg in just yet, but so if you see, we continue to cook this on a high heat. I'm going to put the prawns in a couple of minutes, but what we want to do is to get this sauce a slightly thicker consistency by boiling it, cooking it on a high heat for a bit longer. I've got this one on a high heat. Okay. It's coming through to heat now. You can actually thicken this slightly with a little bit of cornflour if you wish. So whilst it's just cooking through now, I won't have you wait, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so this has been cooking away now for a couple of minutes. All the peppers and onions and the mushrooms are all fully cooked through. I'm going to add just a little bit of cornflour. So I've got a teaspoon here, dissolved in a teaspoon of water. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to thicken the sauce slightly. There, that's gone to a great consistency now. Can you see how that's just thickened it that little bit? Okay, so now we turn this down. Okay, and this is when I put the prawns in. This is enough for about 2 people, by the way, guys. So obviously if you're going to be feeding a family of 4, then you need to double the quantities. Right, so the oil is up to heat in this other pan now. So what I'm going to do first of all is add the beaten egg that's already been seasoned. Okay. And we just let it cook. Give the stir fry a little stir again. Smelling absolutely gorgeous now. Turned it down to a low heat to let the prawns cook through nicely. So as the egg starts to cook in this pan, we wait until it's just about cooked through, and then we start to chop it up with a spatula. I don't know if you've been to teppanyakis and you've seen them do the same sort of thing. So here we are, it's cooking through nicely now. So we just literally do this. Chop it up with a spatula, like so. Makes a super tasty rice, it really does. Okay. So we now add the rice to the egg mixture. I've used long grain rice here, by the way. It works better than using short grain. So you literally just do this chopping action, and when you've got the rice evenly spaced out in the pan, you mix it all up with the egg. Then we give this a season with a bit of salt and pepper. Like so. And then we continue just to mix it together. So there we go. I'm just going to check on the prawns now to see, make sure they're well cooked through. Just another few seconds for the prawns there. Look at the beautiful richness of that sauce. It's absolutely delicious. Just give it another try with this spoon. Oh, that is just so yummy, honestly. You can also add chilies to this if you like a little bit of spice with your food. That is absolutely yummy. So, we start off with the rice. There we go. Into the bowl, upside down onto the plate. Garnish with a little bit of the coriander. There we go. And we then add the prawn mix to the dish. It looks and smells just delicious, this. And there we have it, guys. Sweet and sour king prawns with egg fried rice. Just repeat the same for the second person as you go through everything. So if you've enjoyed watching today, guys, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. And like I said, if you've got any questions, need to know anything, please just ask. See you soon.